Greetings, hello, and welcome, guys. Thanks for tuning back in. This is episode number 11. I'm Imperial Jedi, and we're back again working on Imperius Ravenna. And I woke up this morning just so eager to play this game. I love when that kind of happens. I think maybe I dreamed about this last night. So in terms of demand, we're pretty much good through the board, kind of favoring slightly towards industry. So what I was hoping to do for this episode was to replace these polluters right here with some offices. Get rid of that dump or whatever, and then maybe make a little bit of an addition over in this little quadrant to some high-density zoning. Just so we have kind of like a couple pockets, well, more than a couple, but like a few pockets of just like taller buildings. That'll be kind of cool. And if time permits, maybe we can drop a building or two down here and start slowly working on our Old Town. Okay. Ironic that it's Old Town and we're building it last, but you know, these things kind of happen, but yeah, we're working at it. Okay, so we are going to get a little bit of a disruption to our demand and everything down here because we're going to be taking out all of this industry. And the other thing we're going to lose is, unfortunately, the goods that these places were producing. Move this out of the way too. So it just means we're going to have to put a little bit more industrial zoning over here, which is not the end of the world. So very quickly, let's just add another little area over here. And let's use a 6-lane road just for the sake of being different. And I guess the best bang for our buck would be to go either up in here. We do want a cargo depot in here eventually. And we can have a tunnel that maybe goes underneath, or a bridge to kind of connect these two areas. I think this road layout's going to change, which is why I'm not zoning right here. And I'm not going to do the cargo thing just yet, because we're going to focus elsewhere, you know? Okay, so just to make this super simple, let's just go like this. Go like that. I'm going to pause, just because I think we disrupted some power lines. That doesn't matter, we're okay, so game come back on. And then I'm going to move this. And I don't know what we're going to do, but I can see something happening in here. So we can try something a little bit later on, but I think that'd be kind of neat if we get like a little rail or something running through here, even if we don't end up zoning on him or anything like that, just to make like a pretend rail yard. Just have like a few tracks kind of end in and around here under this bridge here. All right, so let's convert this over to some factories. It's not really zoned in there. I do still want some office space, so why don't we put in a few offices right over here. And even though we might change this, let's just drop in some commercial now just to kind of keep some balance going. A little bit of offices. And then our offices are going to be kind of like a barrier, so we're going to have a nice wall of offices right around here, and that's going to stop like pollution and sound and that kind of stuff from being too impactful on our nearby residents, which I'm sure they will be happy about. And I hate when this happens, when we make these like weird pockets where there's no, because the overlap, that's what kills your budget in the in the scope of a giant city, right? So you want to try being efficient with that kind of stuff. And I do try to be, so I'm not saying I'm the worst. It's just this kind of stuff, it's worth the extra effort, that's all. Okay. Now, just a few more of these little side streets, and then we can go back over to the other area. Should have zoned that before we migrated over here, but that's okay. Yeah, that's not so bad. And then again, the reason why I do these little inner streets is just to get more use out of the zoning squares. Maximum efficiency. We'll keep... actually, how far do we need to keep? There we go. And that's all. You can see why I delete the power lines, just to get, again, more use out of the squares here. We possibly might need another fire station over here. Do we have one of the high-density ones nearby? We don't, interestingly enough, over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place one right at the intersection here, and I'm going to move this one over to this neck of the woods. If it'll let me. Oh, I'm sure there's a spot. There we go. Works for me. And then I think we're fine for police and that kind of stuff, but let's just really quick. Oh, I guess we'll add one over here too. Okay. All right, now over to this spot. Oh, actually, first let's drop this back in. So, office space. We're mindful of our one-ways coming into the city. Cool. High density commercial, because we have demand for that right now. Actually, let's make this high density as well. I quite like this. This should be a nice transformation here. And then let's put in some plazas and parks. Just, you know, our little usual same old song and dance. Can we use this often? No, we can't. How nice. What's a nice spot for that? Right there. Put some pathways around it. And this area will look so much nicer soon when this pollution kind of makes its way out of the ground and whatnot. Definitely looking forward to that. Okay, we got a few down there already. It's more just up here I'm kind of concerned with. Oh, yeah, that's not so bad. And then maybe just one of the other style, like this one right here. Always a trick to get these lined up. Okay, well, do that as well. There we go. So we'll check back on that in a second. And who is full over here? This guy. Might maybe need another. Oh, we don't have. Oh, well, that's not good. Okay, so let's get our population up very quickly because we are going to be in desperate need of, yeah, incinerators. Not incinerators. Oh my goodness, crematoriums. I mean, kind of the same thing. Oh my goodness, so morbid. I think you know what I mean, though. Okay, so let's zone. These streets here, losing all these zoning squares are probably a result of us doing the upgrade, but not putting the squares back in. Okay, so I said over here I wanted a high density pocket, so let's do that. And then we're probably going to have to put in some services over here, which is very doable. And then, are these? This is the one way right there, okay. And then housing just on the inner parts over here, if we can get that to work. Looks like it. Because just for this part of the city, I don't really want to zone on the one-way streets. Do some narrow, taller buildings. Oh, actually, what am I saying? We can go the whole way. And then I kind of like a mixed use of the area whenever possible, which is why I'm putting in some lower and higher higher density, just to kind of get some nice height differences. Oh, and I'm thinking maybe this should stretch across. Yeah, probably, right? But in the interest of making things different, why don't we go, say, up here like this? Oh, actually, yeah, why don't we make those connect? Or, No, it probably should be this one. So then we'll change that part. A little bit chaotic, but should be kind of cool. And then I'm thinking this might have to change, or we'll have to put like a little triangle thing in here when we start to zone over on that side. But Again, most of the roads I put in are just kind of placeholder, just to kind of get us started. Okay, we can go, I guess, a little bit further down, because then we can start putting tram lines in, right? Alright, so this is just more high-density residential going in over here. I'm going to put in some low-density commercial. I don't really like the tall commercial buildings. I think they're a little bit much sometimes. But I want to have shopping close enough that people can still walk without having to, you know, drive and add like more chaos to the roads. So that's kind of my thoughts for this. Okay, now demand is really just calling for commercial, so let's just put in a few commercial zones. I'm talking about how I don't want them, but we're going to put them in anyway. Get rid of that weird narrow building. And then over by our transportation hub, I want to put in some plazas and park space and stuff too, because I don't want this area to get too tall or lost in the concrete, you know, like that kind of feeling. Not symmetrical. Yeah, let's put in a few of these here and there. Why don't we do that with this one? That's looking nice already. And hopefully these will come in as like smaller shops. And then I totally forgot, and a few of you pointed this out, in their district policy we can ban high-rises, which to a certain extent keeps the buildings a bit smaller. So there is some hope. So we'll do some of that stuff pretty soon. And then just in general, I don't necessarily, you know, like whenever you want basically, feel free to drop some names and stuff. Because I'll go back into previous episodes and look through the comments and stuff. So I mean, in general, we need a name for our university. A few of you have already dropped a few suggestions, which is pretty cool, so keep those up. And then we also need, you know, just like random things, right? Like whatever we want to call this little parkway, the bridges, you know, we can call this like the Ambassador Bridge or something, just, you know, fun stuff like that, right? We need a name for our transportation hub. We need a name for our like soccer team or like football team, whatever you want to, you know, whatever you want to think of it as. So just stuff like that, right? So I want you guys to be creative, because sometimes I'm not the most creative when it comes to naming, so I need some outside help with that. And then I'm always up for suggestions, so totally feel free to drop them anytime. Okay, now I would kind of see this area as having like a, you know, mostly shopping, like that kind of stuff. And I would envision in real life much more like cements and concrete and like walking areas and like plazas. So it's going to be a little challenging, but let's try and put a few in. And if we get the overlap just right, we don't end up with too many of those little square things in between. Maybe we can get that one a little bit closer. Oh yeah, that's better, right? Quite like that. And then if we wanted to, we could even double this one up, so let's try that as well. And then, of course, the added bonus is that people actually use them, which is very nice. Yeah, so that's what I don't want, so get rid of that one for sure. And it's very tricky just to get everything to overlap properly. So you can kind of see how and why most of the more popular and common mods were kind of created. Like all the anarchy mods, which allow you to overlap without any issue, and like that kind of stuff, right? I mean, that's a bit better, but I think in the interest of just making things look cleaner, we'll keep it like that. And then, same idea, just a little bit of shopping. Actually, why don't we just fill all that in and see what it looks like? I'm just going to drop in a couple of trees. Yeah, 3 is nice right there. Okay. Back over to our residential grind. So I have a feeling we don't actually need these power lines to go the whole way down, so we can actually get rid of them from this point. And we may even reroute these up and over a little bit later on, just to get a bit more use out of those areas. Okay, so let's go. That's cool. And then just like my personal thoughts, I enjoy having a city that has like housing. And I think, you know, like the dream, right? You want to have a house of your own. So your city doesn't have very many houses. By that logic, those houses will be very expensive. So that means like only the elite can own houses. So that's not very fun, right? You want to have a city where it's like, you know, everyone can kind of feel like there's a chance to kind of grow and prosper and stuff. You don't want to be stuck in like a condo or a small little shoebox apartment or something like that your entire life, right? Otherwise, it's no fun, you know? You don't want to live in that city. So we want to make our cities still feel attainable to everyone. And I think in real life, that's a very important thing to kind of strive for, too. I wonder if it would be overkill or wonderful. It's going to be wonderful if we add this. These are bike lanes, and now we can just go right across. Well, that's kind of cool. And then we can... Oh, wait a minute. Hold the phone here. So, why don't we go like this? Because now that we know that 6 lanes have bicycles, and I can't believe, like, I'm so embarrassed, guys. Like, you know, playing this game since the dawn of time. And that curves in quite nicely, too. Just a little back way in for our little bicycle friends. Because this was, these are trams, right? That's a bicycle road, too, but this makes things better for everyone. And then let's connect over here as well. And then logically, it doesn't make sense to go from a 6-lane road to a little 2-lane road, so we're going to scale this down progressively. So you can see we're just losing 1 lane at a time until we get down here. Otherwise, it's a bit of a bottleneck. Same with in real life, you'll kind of notice that. Or if an intersection is done incorrectly, when you have too many lanes going into one of these, that's when you'll notice lots of traffic just out of nowhere for no reason all the time, right? So yeah, I hope this game, like when you're playing it, you have like a new appreciation for like how your city was kind of put together, and you know how like it would have just became, you know, the size that it is, and like what led to what, and you know if it was good planning or poor planning, and you know, stuff like that, right? It's kind of neat just seeing everything kind of unfold. I'm gonna make this area a bit more walking friendly. Gonna lose some of these buildings, unfortunately, but that's all in the name of progress. That's kind of cool. And then if you're one of those people that loves the symmetry and that kind of stuff, it just gives you a little, you know, opportunity to put in some more of that kind of feeling. So we can do something like this. This is similar to what we did in our university area. Let's put in some mixed size pines. Yeah, just a few of these, right? And then just from overhead, that looks kind of nice. I think we arguably need these ones to be a bit taller. What tree were we using? Yes. Be a tall one. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. That little one looks out of place, but that's okay. Very fun. Little things like that, I really enjoy. Okay, so I think we have a really good area in terms of our zoning prospects. And we did want our population to do a little skyrocket right here, so hopefully it will. So let's put it on 3-speed. Let's just sneak a peek at services overall, and let's try and improve on just the city. Because you can see over here, some of these buildings are calling for more services. You don't really see this icon too often, so it's kind of good to stop on by whenever it does. And then if you ever want to see what the icon means, just hover over it. So offices are a little bit more finicky than the factories, which is why the offices are the ones that are, you know, calling for the... No way! It was the factories! Well, how about them? Okay. Well, usually it's vice versa, but either way, it's just telling us that we need to improve on city services. So let's do an overall look at the city. Looks like we do need some more healthcare. So why don't we put a hospital in and around here? Because that should get pretty good coverage, and it might even sneak down here a hint. Especially if we maybe do another bridge or something. Oh, that'd be cool if this fit. Oh, there we go. There might be a better spot. Oh, hello. So why don't we do that? put that right in behind. Oh, that looks so clean. I love when that just happens. Very nice. And then behind, why don't we put in a couple of these? Great. And then this can just be a little bit of shopping. And then since that's an open spot, why don't we just go like that, just for funsies. We're all about the funsies here. Alright, neat. Okay, very good. Very simple, but very good. Okay, so let's put the speed on 1, just so we can kind of see the, you know, the imprint in action, right? So coverage much better. I think over here we actually might need another clinic. I'm not going to put a hospital in. I think it's a little bit too expensive, but... And then we had a suggestion come in over for this neck of the woods to maybe put a different set of roads in and around here, just to kind of get the traffic moving a little bit faster out of the soccer games whenever they kind of exit. It's actually a prime example because there's one happening right now. So what we could possibly do is make this into like a little one-way box, and then you have 2 lanes for exiting, which will be a little bit faster. And then if we do get rid of this little road that gives us so much trouble, it'll just make things faster, I think, too. Anyway, so we'll explore that when we work again on this area. But oh, and the other suggestion I had come in was to turn this into kind of like a clover leaf and make 2 of the roads go straight through. And my thought for that, which it's not a bad idea, I think we could still do it, but I wanted to maybe have this link up with that and then make kind of like a U shape, and then we can do some really nifty interchange here. Because I want to connect like that over to these roads, because this will eventually get a lot of traffic, which makes sense for us putting the trams underneath. And you can see this is starting to get a little, not backed up, but it's getting a little bit busy, right? And then even this road should maybe be a bit wider. You can kind of see, right? So why don't we just do that really quickly while we're here. These are the kind of things I love doing in this game, just kind of tinkering around, just creating solutions and just brainstorming ideas and little things like that, right? Okay, so that helps a little bit. You can kind of see we basically would benefit a lot from having a highway over here. So when we buy more tile spaces, I know I'm all over the place right now. I want to buy this tile and this tile just to kind of complete the look, and then I want to go with these 2 tiles as well. And that gives us the option to buy, I think, a couple more after that or whatever, but it's kind of our, you know, just we're on the same page right now. Anyway, so all of this will eventually be worked on. Okay, so I know we definitely need more death care coverage. This one is empty, and it's a mistake because it's literally got nowhere to go to. It's just going to go into other graveyards. Why don't we put one in it? Oh, that would have been nice. I mean, downtown is kind of I don't know. This not really downtown. So this is more of downtown, right? I guess this is kind of like an extended downtown, but I don't know. Is that weird having that down here? Let's just put it in. Put that in too. Nice. No, that's nice where it is. And then in this game, this kind of acts like a park anyhow, so people are like happy to live near it. Okie dokie. Okay, so back on track. Sorry, I'm a little distracted again here. So not bad coverage. So healthcare, death care is pretty good. Garbage is, it's not too bad. I do want to move this. Like, this is not really, you know, I don't like that at all. And I did say I wanted to make a little separate area for that. Just like really quickly. I'm going to put that like just over here. Remove some of these trees out of the way because they're going to get that kind of sickly color. Just like twigs. I just want this to be just further away from the city, that's all. Cool. And this also is a temporary location. It's just better than that. Okay. So fire coverage actually is not all that good. Definitely could benefit from a bigger fire station down here. Maybe close to one of these interchanges so we can get some action down and around. I think right about here would be good. Yeah, looks pretty good to me. And then I'm going to put in a smaller one over here. Police coverage is not bad. We could definitely use another police station, though. It's like these things I don't mind putting on our one-way roads. So I think we'll do that. And our money. Starting to deplete. A prison. We'll eventually have to put one of those in. Not yet, though. Alright, super simple. A couple schools. That makes perfect sense. Let me drop that in. And let's put in a basketball court right next to it. And I hate to lose those buildings, but I do want a path going through. Let's try that out right there. And you know what? Let's switch this to houses. So you can still kind of see the school a bit better. Alright, so we'll try that. And I think we need one more elementary school down here still. And then same idea, let's just put in another basketball court behind it. Kind of a nice little pairing. That one, I don't really think we need the pathways as much. I'm going to keep that, because the height's kind of a little bit off right here. Okay, now a high school, just one should suffice. Put that over here. And that's not going to fit, so no problemo. Maybe put a skate park. Oh, weird. See how the square came right? That's interesting. Okay, so skate park, cross street from the high school. Also kind of makes sense to me. And then across the street from the hospital, also just in case, which also makes perfect sense to me. So, if you're cutting class, you're likely here, and if you're hurting yourself, not far to go. If you have to go to the hospital. That's kind of funny. Okay, well that's pretty good for our school coverage and stuff. Like our capacity's great for, you know, elementary and high school. And university. Not really the best university coverage, but that's totally fine. Our citizens can still kind of make their way down here. Okay. And then just park space. We can probably use this a little bit more in general. It's kind of the last piece of the pie right here. And so our population goal for this episode was to get to 16,000. That was to unlock the incinerators. So we came pretty close. Didn't quite get there though. Should I put a little bit more of that pathway in? Just mix things up, why not? Okay. Now, how did these zones turn out just before we end things off? Actually, I quite like this. Much nicer than having all the polluting buildings. And this will look pretty cool when we get trams going through here. And we'll put in a tram for this network and everything once we kind of buy the next tile over. And then we'll put in, again, like a tram over here when we just do fill in a little bit more. Because I'd like to put in some of those little side access kind of stop things or whatever. I want to build those. That's going to take a little bit of time, I think, so no rush right now. Okay, so a little bit more population zoning. Perfect. In these areas, it's kind of tricky to get buildings in, but we'll give it a try nonetheless. And I'm not going to zone on those roundabouts. There we go. I'm always up for the challenge. And then maybe in the center of these roundabouts, we can put some trees or something, right? Seems to be our kind of city theme. To have those on the outside with a big pine tree in the middle. That's a big pine tree. Oh boy. You know what, let's just do the big pine tree on its own. There we go. Just a little something to put inside the roundabouts. Gosh, our population, it got so close here. We put on 3-speed. Maybe we can get in the last little bit. I think if we zone just a smidge more of some offices, that might get us over that hurdle. Some waterfront offices, which should look pretty nice. Just stretch a couple of roads through here. That's annoying. Just mix things up. And like literally just because why not, you know? Cool. No, oh, maybe that's not happening. There we go. Okay. Well, actually, that maybe have done the trick, because that's creating more jobs and upping that demand. All right, let's put in a smidge of high-density commercial, because I think by that same logic, we might get that extra little push happening. Take out that last little bit, help the way that building came in. Darn it, get back here. All right. Because I would love to get some crematoriums in right now. I'll probably end up forgetting about those in the next episode, you know what I mean? So, great to get them out of the way while I'm thinking about them. Okay, I think the high-density commercial is a very big hit right now. So let's sneak a few more of these taller buildings in. Kind of watch everything unfold. Yes, there we go. All right. That is what I'm after. Okay, cool. So we'll just drop a few of these in just throughout the city. Same kind of logic with the incinerators. I'm going to put them close to our graveyard. So when we are ready to kind of empty these out, you know, that's not like it's too far to go. So that one we were emptying because it was full. So we'll go back to that now. And we'll just, yeah, just put, you know, 2 or 3 of these in. Because they are expensive, so I don't need to put that many in, but good to have. Okay, so we'll drop that there. I'm just trying to be conscientious about the buildings surrounding it. If it's nothing but like tall buildings, it'll look out of place if we have one little small kind of thing making an appearance. Okay, put that right there. Perfect. And so, you know, if accidents get out of control. Also, that's terrible to say. Don't even say that. Oh my goodness. And then this one down here. Cool. Well, all right. And we also got water treatment, so we can kind of get rid of this water pollution. And then we'll move everything, you know, just get all that done. So I think we'll do that next episode. And just we'll continue to work on the population, fill this area in, because we do have a lot of, you know, unused zoning squares here. But the city, again, it's starting to definitely really take shape. I know I say that every episode, but, like, look at it! It looks so good! Oh, I love this. Alright, guys, so definitely feel free to drop some names for some districts. And you may have to maybe drop a timestamp or something, or just be, you know, helpful with a description. Or you can just be like, for any generic bridge or any generic spot, like that kind of stuff, right? Like the more the merrier. And just, yeah, let me know what your thoughts are in the city. I love the comments, and I'm sorry to be so slow to respond to them. I know that sounds so repetitive and everything, but it's just tough. But yeah, I'll definitely get on those, and I do try to respond to the ones that are like super pressing, but anyway, keep them up, guys, and I will be naming some places after you, so those of you who do comment often, you know, you'll be on my radar, and I'll be thinking about you, so that's kind of important and all that stuff, too. Alright, guys, all the best. Hope your own cities are doing well. Feel free to send me some screenshots. Like I said, I love seeing that stuff, too. And, yeah, some of you have been showing me some cool stuff, so keep that up. And, yeah, it's kind of fun. Alright, guys, all the best. I will see you in the next one, and happy building, and hope things are great on your end, too.